Hello, my dear friends. This is Raju. Thank you for subscribing my YouTube channel, English Grammar and Literature. I also thank you for watching my videos on English literature and grammar. Please watch this video completely. If you like the content, please share with your friends and suggest to subscribe my channel. In this video, we try to understand what is a prosody or a meter, and the information which I am going to share on this video will help you a lot. Why don't we wait? Let us start it. What is a prosody? Prosody is the systematic study of versification in poetry. What is versification? Versification means the art of compositing poems, right? So how the poems are going to be written, that process or that skill is called the versification. I hope you understood. Now that skill is going to be studied by prosody. Now what are the requirements to write a poem? Let us see. We required the elements like meter, rhyme and stanza forms. These are the basic elements of poetry which require to compose or write a poem. And these elements are going to be studied in detail by the subject of prosody. So that's why a prosody is a study of the principles and practice of meter, rhyme and stanza forms. Now you can also see sometimes the prosody is extended to include also the study of speech sound patterns and effects such as alliteration, assonance, euphony and onomatopoeia, which are nothing but you can see these are some particular elements. I already told you these are speech sound patterns, or you can call these are figures of speeches. So most of the things which are used only in poetry. So a prosody which is going to study about meter, rhyme and stanza forms basically. So under that, this speech sound patterns are subcategorizations. So overall you can see a prosody is the study of versification. So it is going to study about meter, rhyme and stanza forms and even the specific characteristics of speech sound patterns. So finally we can understand prosody is a study of the techniques of poetry. Now let us see what is a meter. Meter is a system or a plan of versification. It is a scheme which divides the verse or poem into stressed syllables and unstressed syllables. So you need to understand very detailedly the meter which is going to study about stressed syllables and unstressed syllables in the poem. And if you look at the types of meter, we have basically 4 main types of meter in European languages. The first one you can see quantitative meter, which was used in the classical Greek and Latin. And the second one is syllabic meter, which was used in French and many other Roman languages. Accentual meter, which was used in the older Germanic languages including Old English. And the last one is accentual syllabic, which was widely used and applicable to by far the greater part of English poetry from Chaucer to the present. We have already discussed meter is a plan of poem or a scheme of poem, and how that poem is going to be composed. And we have also understood meter is going to study about the stressed and unstressed syllables in a poem. Now, how that stressed and unstressed syllables will be identified, and with what name we can call this. If you would like to know that, we need to understand what is a foot, right? So if you look at this statement, you can understand what is a foot. The meter of a verse can be described as a sequence of feet, right? So the meter which is going to describe it as a sequence of meat means which we are going to measure the words in the form of foot, right? And that measurement is nothing but called a meter. So each foot being a specific sequence of syllable types, such as relatively, unstressed, stressed, or you can call long or short syllables. Okay, so we have two categories of syllables. One is unstressed or unstressed. Okay. Now you can see what is a foot. A foot is the combination of the stressed and unstressed syllables. So here we look at the types of foot. You can see here the first one is Iambic foot, which is the combination of two syllables, and the first syllable unstressed and the second one is stressed. So if you find a foot which is unstressed syllable and stressed syllable, is called Iambic foot. Okay. The second one is trochaic, which is another type of foot, which is the combination of stressed syllable and unstressed syllable. So we have two syllables in this word also. So Iambic is a two syllabic foot which is going to see unstressed and stressed, and trochaic is also two syllabic foot which is opposite to the Iambic. So stressed syllable and unstressed syllable. And spondylic, which is also two syllabic foot which consists stressed syllable and stressed syllable. And third one is anapaestic, which is trisyllabic foot, means which have three syllables. The first two are unstressed syllables and third one is stressed syllable. And the fourth one you can see dactylic, so which is also trisyllabic foot, which has stressed syllable plus two unstressed syllables which are going to be found. So dactylic is opposite to anapaestic. And another one amphibraphic, which is also a trisyllabic foot, so which you can see between two unstressed syllables, one stressed syllable is going to be seen. So the first syllable is unstressed, the second one is stressed, and third one is unstressed. So the last important one is ferric, which is also a two syllabic disyllabic foot. So here we have two unstressed syllables. So these are the basic types of or styles of foot. Now let us see some more information about the foot. Already we have discussed this information, but we need to go in some more information. Iambs and anapaests, since the strong stress is at the end, so you can find it is, so when it comes to the point of this iambs and anapaests, they are two syllabic foot. The last one is going to end with strong stress, means stressed, or which are going to be called as rising meter. Okay, iambs and anapaests, if the line has, that is called rising meter, and trochees and dactyls with the strong stress at the beginning are called falling meter. The first two are ending and the second two are at the beginning, so they are going to be called as falling meter and rising meter. Iambs and trochees having two syllables, so these two are having two syllables, that's why they are called double meter. Anapaests and dactyls having three syllables, so which are having three syllables, that's why are called triple meter. It should be noted that the iamb is by far the commonest English foot. So you need to remember what is the commonest English foot, that is iamb. So now we understand what is metric line. So there we have lines. Okay, for example, if the line has only 1 foot, it is called a monometer. If the line has 2 feet, that is called dimeter. If 3 feet, trimeter. If 4 feet, tetrameter. If 5 feet, pentameter. If 6 feet, hexameter. And this is also called as Alexandrian, is a line of 6 iambic feet. 7 feet. So if the line has 7 feet, that is called as heptameter. A 14-year is another term for a line of 7 iambic feet. Hence, of 14 syllables, it tends to break into a unit of 4 feet followed by a unit of 3 feet. So if you have found 8 feet in the line, that is called as octometer. So for example, if the feet are iambs, and if there are 5 feet to a line, if you find 5 feet to a line, then it is called an iambic pentameter. Okay, iambic pentameter. If the feet are iambs, then if you find 5 feet to a line, that line is called iambic pentameter. For example, if the feet are primarily dactylics, and there are 6 to a line, so 6 to a line means 6 dactylics in a line, so then it is called a dactylic hexameter. So this way we need to identify. So iambic pentameter means here in a line 5 iambs are there. Okay, if dactylic hexameter means here in a line there we have 6 dactylics. So this way a line will be identified. Okay, now let us see some more important things. Iambic foot, which is going to be found in another subtitles or substitutions we can call, that is feminine and masculine. So these are also very important from the point of competitive examinations. So there are many variations upon the basic iambic foot. These are sometimes called substitutions. So they are feminine ending. So if a line which is going to end with unstressed syllables is called feminine ending. So feminine ending is a line of poem or verse that ends with an unstressed syllables. So the question may be asked, if a line in a poem or a verse ends with unstressed syllables is called, you need to identify feminine ending. So how the masculine line is going to end? So you can expect that is stressed syllable. This is opposite. So a masculine endings refers to a line ending in a stressed syllable. Feminine ending is unstressed syllable and masculine ending is stressed syllable. So here also there are some more types of lines. So end stop line. So this is also very important. So in the examination they may give you a one stanza like here you can see, and they ask in which style which has been written. So look at the following extract from the Burning Babe by Robert Southwell. It is a best example to understand what is end stopped line. So here you can see the 4 lines we have in a stanza, and each line ends with a comma. The first line is comma, the second line is with semicolon, and third line with a comma, and fourth one is with a full stop. So you cannot find any punctuation marks between the lines. Okay, so maximum every line ends with a punctuation mark. So that kind of stanza is going to be called as end stopped line. Okay, and even another type of line we have, that is called run-on lines or enjambment. Look at the following extract from The Winter's Tale by Shakespeare is heavily enjambed. So here you can see in these 5 lines you cannot find any punctuation mark at the end of the line. So without any punctuation marks at the end of the line, if you look that kind of stanza, then that is called run-on lines. But you can find the punctuation marks in the middle of the sentences. For example, in the first line after weeping there is a comma. In the second line after commonly are, that's semicolon, and even pities in third line after that semicolon, and in fourth line you do not find any kind of punctuation mark, but which is ended with full stop at the last. So if you look at all this both stanzas, you can see if you find punctuation at the end of the line, that is called end stopped line, and if you find the punctuation marks in the middle, that is called run-on lines. Okay, this way let us understand some more information about iambic pentameter and dactylic hexameter. It is because these 2 meters are very important and common in English poetry and verse drama. Okay, and this iambic pentameter is a type of metric line and common in English poetry. And if you look at the lines of iambic pentameter, which usually contain 10 syllables. How many syllables? 10 syllables. So that's why it is considered a form of decasyllabic verse. Decasyllabic means 10 syllables. Okay. It is used in the major English poetic forms, including blank verse, the heroic couplet. This meter is used basically in blank verse and heroic couplet. Okay, and how many syllables we have? 10 syllables. 10 syllabic meter is called decasyllabic verse. And William Shakespeare famously used iambic pentameter in his plays on sonnets. Now let us see the characteristics of dactylic hexameter. It is also known as heroic hexameter and the meter of epic. It is because the epic are written mostly with the meter of dactylic hexameter. That's why which is called as the meter of epic, or which can also called as heroic hexameter. It was considered to be the grand style of Western classical poetry. Some premier examples of its use are Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, Virgil's Aeneid, and Ovid's Metamorphoses. Hexameters also form part of elegiac poetry in both languages. The elegiac couplet being a dactylic hexameter line paired with a dactylic pentameter. So that is called elegiac poetry. The first line is dactylic hexameter and the second line is dactylic pentameter. So that way you can call as elegiac poetry. Let us understand what is rhyme and the rhythm and the differences between rhyme and rhythm. These two are the musical elements of poetry. First of all, let us understand what is rhythm. Rhythm is the measured flow of words and phrases in verse or prose as determined by the relation of stressed and unstressed syllables. So you are going to study rhythm in a poem based on the line. So in detail you can see the rhythm of a poem can be analyzed through the number of lines in a verse, the number of syllables in the line, and the arrangement of syllables based on whether they are long or short, accented or unaccented. You can also say stressed or unstressed syllables. So these three basic points based on you can measure or identify what kind of rhythm is used in a poem. For example, we have few popular rhythms. The first one you can see iambic pentameter. It is one kind of rhythm, it is a line that consists of 5 iambs, right? So, or you can say this 10 syllables in a alternating pattern of unstressed and stressed beats. Iamb means it is a disyllabic foot, means stressed syllable and unstressed syllable and stressed syllable, right? So this is one kind of rhythm, and the another kind of rhythm is dactylic hexameter. It is a rhythmic scheme in poetry. You can see a line that consists of 6 dactylics. Dactylic is a trisyllabic foot. How that you can see? The first one is stressed and the remaining 2 are unstressed syllables. So this way 3 syllables are there in dactylic. So you can understand this dactylic is going to repeat for the 6 times in a sentence. So that is called a rhythm. Now let us look at what is a rhyme. A rhyme is a repetition of similar sounding words which always occur at the end of lines or middle of the line in a poem or a song. For example, you can see the types of rhymes. The first one is end rhymes, which occurs at the end of a verse line or a poem line. So the last word and the last syllable is going to repeat in alternate lines or the sequence lines. So for example, if you see the another category, internal rhymes, so which here you can see which may occur within a verse line. Means, for example, here I have provided a stanza. In the first line there is a word cloud in the middle and at the end shroud. So means here the rhyming cloud, shroud, the last syllables d is going to be repeated. And in third line also, night, white, this syllable is repeated. Now if you see, this is called internal rhyming. And if you see the second line, 9, and in fourth line, shine, these are end rhymes, so they are going to find the same okay. The other rhyme is I rhyme. in which the words whose endings are spelled alike and in most instances were once pronounced alike but have in the course of time acquired a different pronunciation. For example, prove, love, data, lafa. So this is this. So you can also see the spellings at the end of the word are same and pronounced same. This kind of rhyming is called I rhyme. So the another line you can see, masculine rhyme, which is already we discussed, which consists of a single stressed syllable. For example, still, kill, move, more, like that. And another feminine rhyme consists of a stressed syllable followed by unstressed syllable. So masculine is stressed based and feminine is unstressed syllable based rhythm. And you can see the other important rhythm is sprung rhythm, which is a special characteristic. Sprung rhythm, a poetic rhythm, was developed by the British poet Gerard Manley Hopkins to imitate the rhythm of natural speech. It is constructed from feet in which the first syllable is stressed and may be followed by a variable number of unstressed syllables. This you need to remember. The first syllable is stressed, and after that any other n number of, there is no any particular number of syllables, but it may be one syllable or two syllable or three syllable, a number of syllables. They must be in unstressed form. J. Hopkins said he discovered this provincially unnamed poetic rhythm in the natural patterns of English in folk songs and spoken poetry. I hope you have received a good information, and thank you for watching my video. And in another video I am going to cover about the stanza forms. Please subscribe my channel and share with your friends.